Thank you for that great introduction. Ethan Lax. 3 letters, L-A-X, that's it. And for all you right-wing conservatives out there now who are thinking, Lax, what nationality could that be? Let me clear that up for you. Lax is Jewish. Let's hear it from all the fellow members of the tribe out there, or do I have to start getting gigs on the east side? Now, actually, Jewish comedians have an infinite source of material at our disposal. All we need to do is make a phone call home to mom. I'm sure a lot of you know the Jewish mother mantra, but if you don't know it, I'm going to teach it to you tonight. It's very easy. 2 short sentences. Fear everything, trust no one. Everybody repeat after me. Fear everything, trust no one. Congratulations, you all move on to Meshuggah 201 next semester. Now, my mother in particular, she runs this very fine line between Jewish mother and paranoid wackadoodle. Let me give you an example. About 20 years ago, it was time for my mother to decide on her final resting place, and she could not stand the thought of being buried. The worms, they're just going to destroy my makeup. Cremation? Oy, the heat. So she decided on the above-ground mausoleum, or as I like to call it, the human filing cabinet. Well, sadly, earlier this year, my father passed away, and he was the first to enter the crypt, filed neatly between Lawler and Lazinski. In fact, it's a very classy facility. They actually have a Dewey Decimal System app you can download for your iPhone to help you navigate the grounds. Well, everything went well, and the next day, my mother calls, and she's frantic. Ethan! I just had a horrible thought. Well, I'm used to my mother's horrible thoughts. Okay, what do you got? What if an hour after the funeral director came back and stole the casket for resale? Okay. Well, Mom, in order to do that, the mausoleum would have to open the crypt for them, and I don't think they would do that. And then my mother used a word that I don't think I've heard in 2011. I'm not sure you'd hear it in 1911. She said, but what if they're in cahoots? Cahoots? She says, we've got to exhume that body and find out what's in that crypt. Which told me there's only one thing I can do. I've got to develop an I Love Lucy type scheme, and I'm going to have a lot of explaining to do. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of a SWAT device, S-W-A-T. It's a sonar weight assessment technology device. Scuba divers use it. They hold it in front of them in case a large object is coming at them. A show of applause. All of you have heard of this, yes? Yeah, thank you. You're all liars. I made it up. Doesn't exist. But this is the way you have to work these things. And what I did was I have an imaginary friend who was going to take that right up to the crypt and find out exactly how much weight was in there. So, to make it realistic, I wait a couple of days, do a little simple arithmetic. Dad, 161 pounds. Casket, 80-something pounds. 3-iron, bottle of scotch. Put it all together, I came up with 251 pounds. So I called Mom and I said, Mom, I got great news. We put the SWAT device up against the crypt and there is 251 pounds in there. And my mother says, 251 pounds? Your father didn't weigh 251 pounds? Who's in there? I said, Mom, the casket, you're forgetting about the weight of the casket. And she said, but they stole the casket. And I said, Mom, apparently they didn't. Silence. Let me think about that. Now, I know my mom well enough. That doesn't mean closure. All that means is that I have to be prepared with another friend who's an X-ray technician and a real friend who's an expert in Photoshop. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.